Hello and welcome. Today we're looking at the SG106 drone, courtesy of GearBest.com. Check out their site for more cool quadcopters just like this one. Now this drone has not one but two 720p HD cameras, one of which is used for optical flow positioning. It has altitude hold, one key return, headless mode, and plenty of other neat features, so let's check it out. Now the drone comes in this white rectangular box showing the black model clearly there in the front, and this is the SG106 quadcopter drone for ages 14 plus, and it's from ZZZ or Triple Z there in the upper left corner. And this drone has two cameras, a front facing camera and a optical flow camera underneath. Here at the top of the box you can see a listing of all its features, such as visual image tracking for follow me, gesture control, gesture photographs, smartphone control, altitude hold, auto takeoff, auto land, one key return, so on and so forth. So plenty of neat features there. Underneath you can see the different variations this drone comes in. You can get this in white in either 720p or 1080p, or you can get it in black in the same camera resolutions. This is the white 720p version. And here on the sides of the box, not much going on. Here in the back of the box we have the QR code for downloading the app in either Android or iOS. And we see a different perspective of the drone. So now let's open it up and take a look inside here. There's an inner styrofoam portion, so we'll pull that out. And here we go. And right away we can see the instruction manuals here at the top. Right here, the SG106 by ZZZ. And it tells you a listing of the parts there. And it's a basic instruction manual. It's not very in-depth, but gives you the essentials for getting started. And now we'll take a look here at the main area here where we have the drone and transmitter all packed in there. So very nice. And so let's take a look here at the drone first. Very cool. Interesting design here. It's a white quadcopter here, and it's a brush motor quadcopter. And you can see the front camera here, 720p HD camera, and underneath there is also an HD camera as well. And here in the back we have its 3.7 volt 1600 milliamp LiPo battery, and it just slides into place there. So very cool. So we'll set it right here, and now we'll look at the transmitter. Nice thin compact transmitter here, and the antennas fold out, and so do the arms here, so you can place the mobile device. And very comfortable transmitter here, and it turns on by opening the right arm, so that's kind of interesting. And the antennas on this are most likely just for looks. They're not real antennas. Here we have the propeller guards and the landing legs. And then right here we have spare propellers and the charge cable and a few other accessories there, such as a screwdriver and some screws. So very nice. So that's essentially the contents of the box. So let's have one last look at the contents. Now, taking a last look at everything that's included, we have the drone itself with its 3.7 volt 1600 milliamp LiPo battery. We have 4 spare propellers, 4 motor end caps, a screwdriver, 4 propeller guards, 2 landing legs that are optional to put underneath the drone. It's a micro USB charge cable to charge the battery, the small compact transmitter, and the instruction manuals. So that's essentially the contents of the box. Now let's take a closer look at the drone. Now, taking a closer look at the drone, this is a very unique looking drone that has a slim and pointy fuselage. And right here you could see it says drone, and it's all in white, and this also comes in black. And it is a brushed motor quadcopter, and it comes with propeller guards that are very easy to snap on and off. Right here we'll demonstrate, as you can easily just snap in the propeller guard right here on the side. There's an opening, you just simply wedge it in there, and it protects the quadcopter and propellers, and then you can easily just remove it. And then it also comes with a pair of landing legs or landing skids that you would simply plug into the bottom like so. You just simply slide it into the holes, and there are no screws or anything needed. You just simply put them in where the holes are, like so. And as you can see, that's how the drone looks, although it really isn't necessary, considering that each of the sides has already a plastic landing leg. This is optional, and so you can easily just pop them out and remove them. And so now, looking at the bottom of the drone, you can see the HD optical flow camera or sensor underneath, and that helps it with optical flow positioning. And you can see there's a Wi-Fi antenna there, and here in the front we have its HD 720p camera, and there is a 1080p version, and it is a wide angle lens camera, but unfortunately it's tilted somewhat downward, and it is a fixed camera, so you cannot adjust it. And you can see each of the sides here has LEDs and landing legs as well. And now let's look at the battery bay here in the back. We have a 3.7 volt 1600 milliamp LiPo battery that supposedly gives the quadcopter a 22-minute flight time, but really it's actually 15 minutes. And it charges right here in the micro USB port that's on the side of the battery with this included charger that has a light indicator to show that it is charging. And it takes around 1 to 2 hours to fully charge it, and it provides the quadcopter with about a 15 or 16 minute flight time. Not quite the 22 minutes that are advertised. And here at the top you can turn on the quadcopter and see the bright LEDs, the blue and red LEDs that are on each leg there, and so very good for orientation or an early evening flight. And so a very neat quadcopter. And so that essentially summarizes the drone. And now let's take a closer look at the transmitter. Now, taking a closer look at the transmitter, this is a very slim and compact transmitter that highly resembles a Wingsland R6 controller, and it has these fold-out arms along with these folding antennas that are most likely just for appearance. And when you fold out the right arm, it actually activates the transmitter, and as you can see, the arms even stretch out quite a bit, so you can put a mobile device or cell phone on there. And here in the back, it does take 2 AAA batteries, as you can see here. 2 AAA batteries held in place with this lid. And now going over the controls a bit, we have our left throttle stick followed by our right rudder stick. We have our auto takeoff and auto land button, our emergency stop button, the photo button, the video button, and here on the upper left corner we have the rates of speed. There are 3 rates of speed denoted by beeps, 1 to 3 beeps. We have the 1 key return button to return back in the orientation that it took off from. Then we have our headless mode button and the stunt or 3D roll button right here. And you would press that, hear some beeps, and then move the rudder in the direction you'd like the quadcopter to flip. And this drone only does side rolls or side flips, no forward or back. And this controller does provide the quadcopter with around an 80 to 100 meter range of control. So that's essentially it for the transmitter. Now let's take a look at setting this up for a first-time flight and its app. Now, setting the drone up for its first-time flight is very straightforward. Once you have a fully charged battery inserted into the drone, along with fresh batteries inserted into the transmitter, you would first activate the drone by pushing its on-off button there at the top, and you should see the lights start to blink. At that point, you would turn on the transmitter by opening up its right arm, and you should see the red LED. And then you've got to bind the transmitter to the quadcopter by pushing the left throttle stick up and down like so. And so now you are bound, and you should see the lights go solid. At this point, you would insert the mobile device or cell phone and connect to the app. So let's go ahead and do that now. Now, once in your mobile device's Wi-Fi settings, you want to look for an entry that says MB_720p with a serial number. And if you have the 1080p version of this, it may say 1080p. And you want to connect to that. And initially, there is no default Wi-Fi password or anything to that effect. So once you connect to that, you would go ahead and launch this app right here, which is ZL Toys. And it's in both the iOS and Android app stores. ZL Toys, and it'll have the 3 Z's right there. And you would go ahead and launch that. And initially, you will be greeted with this screen right here. And you could see the Wi-Fi connection, and there's several settings in here as well. You may initially want to set the language to English so that you can see the additional buttons in the main screen. And then you will see calibrate and the start button on the lower right. And so you would go ahead and start with that button right there, the start. And once you enter the main screen, you will have a live feed right away. As you can see here, we have a live feed, and the FPV feed with this quadcopter is around 50 to 80 meters. So not too bad and not too much lag. So pretty good. Unfortunately, as you can see, there's a crack in the lens of the camera in this model that I received, probably due to shipping. And now switching over to the bottom facing camera through that button, you can see that we have a clear feed with this camera down below, the optical flow camera. And you can switch at any time between either camera during flight using the app. And as you can see, the bottom camera does not have any defect in it. And this button goes to the photo album. So you see your saved pictures and videos. This is the auto takeoff button. And then we have our virtual controls in the center of the screen. This button on the upper left can go back to the main menu. This will switch between flight and master mode, which is basically the FPV mode or the control mode, where you can control using the app with the sticks in the middle and the emergency shutoff. We have our rates button right up here. You can switch between 30, 60, and 100. We have our photo and video buttons. And then here on the upper right corner, we have our special modes button. This one right here, you can switch between different filters. So when you record aerials, you can see different filters. This one right here will enable the gesture visual image tracking mode, where you can take selfies or control the drone through gestures. This one will enable the waypoints mode, and they're not GPS waypoints, they're just simply a pattern that you do on the rudder, and it will fly that pattern. This will split the screen to put in FPV cell phone goggles. This button right here will rotate or flip the screen if necessary. And then this will clear the icons. And so that's essentially it. You have your virtual controls there. You have gesture controls. Plenty of neat features in the app. So overall, a very neat quadcopter. This one happened to come with a slight defect in the camera lens, the main camera lens. So you'll notice that in the aerial footage. Hopefully this is not a prevalent issue with this model. Probably just a shipping issue with the one I received. But other than that, it's a very good quadcopter, plenty of features, a smooth flyer. So let's take it out for a spin and see how she performs.